Hello everyone, it's nice to be back once again. Even today, I will be discussing about sociology for class 12. In our last classes, we were continuing with the topic of institutional structure, okay. Even today, we will be discussing about the same, but under that, okay, in our previous classes, we have discussed about marriage among the Christians and also about the Muslims. And in the last class, I have also give a short introduction about joint family. Okay, so we have discussed about that, and we have discussed that it is a very important entity, especially in our Indian society, when it comes to the ideal pattern and cultural norms of the family. Okay, ideal pattern which means it's a complete pattern which the family as a whole has to follow, and also the older generations helps the younger ones in order to teach the cultural norms of the family. Okay, so that is what we have discussed here. And when we talk about the joint family, there is a definition which has been given by Iravati Karve. Okay, that is going to be quite important for you. Okay, so it will be there in your textbook. Okay, and when you read about that, I would kindly ask you to, remember that particular definition which has been given by her. It says something like this. Iravati Karve defines that the joint family is a group of people who generally live under one roof, eat food cooked at one hearth, hold property in common, participate in common family worship, and is related to each other as some kind of kindred. Okay, so that is the definition which is given by her, and I will be explaining about the definitions word by word here. Okay, so the first is the structural features, and in the definition itself it mentions about common residence, which means they live under a common roof, they live under the same house. Okay, it's all about at least 3 generations living together, where the parents, the grandparents, the children and their grandchildren live under the same roof. Okay, under the same roof, common residence. The second is the hearth. That is what I have told you. Hearth means the kitchen, means they cook in the same kitchen. It's not like 3 generations living together, they have different kitchens. It's not like that. The whole family, cooks for, together. Okay, and the next is it's a large size, like I've mentioned, at least 3 generations, which means the grandparents, their children, and their grandchildren live together. Okay, and the next one is common property, which means if they earn something, they have to contribute the same to the family also, and in that way, okay, the property is the property is belongs to the whole family. Okay, it belongs to the whole family. Okay, so that is the reason why it says it's a common property. That is what it means here. The next are the functional features. How does it functions? As a unit, as a family, how does it functions here? Okay, the functional features are common rituals and ceremonies, role of karta, mutual obligations, rights and duties shared. Okay, so under this, the first one is common rituals and ceremonies. In almost all the joint families, okay, what happened is that almost all of them, they belong to the same religion. I repeat again, they belong to the same religion, and also, when we talk about the lineage system or the clan system, almost all of them, they belong to the same thing. And that is the reason why, they follow common rituals and ceremonies, which means every religion has some rituals to follow. And also as a tribal, okay, if we have joint family system, the tribal, we will belong to the same tribe only in that particular family, and that is the reason why the customs and traditions will be the same in that particular family. Okay, in that particular joint family. That is what it means here. The next is the role of karta. Okay, so before we go to that, it doesn't mean that, okay, in a joint family, every family member has to be the same denomination or the same religion. Maybe in some cases, okay, some members may vary, okay. Some of them might belong to different religion also, but not in all the cases. That is what I mean here, okay. The next is the role of Karta. Karta is the eldest in the family, okay. He has a role to play. You know, what is the role? What is the main role that is being given to him? The main role is that, you know, he has the authority in the family, you know, and that is the reason why he has a lot of things to do for the family. The next is the rights and duties shared, okay. According to the social system of the society, you know, there are certain rights and duties which has been given to every individual. So in the same manner, okay, in that particular household, okay, every individual has a role to play, okay. So in that way, you know, there is a proper division of labor in the particular joint family system. That is what it means here. Now, when we talk about this joint family, okay, this joint family is also found, you know, among the Christians and also among the Muslims, okay. So it is found among the Christians and also among the Muslims here, okay. So in that way, you know, they share the cultures, they share the values of life, you know, with the young ones, and then they coexist with each other, you know, and in that way, you know, there is harmony in the family. But what happened is that today, as we look into the bigger picture of the society, okay, we see a lot of structural changes which is taking place in the society, okay. Structural changes, maybe, you know, the joint family has been shifted to nuclear family, okay. Nuclear family, break up into nuclear family. So in this manner, okay, we can see that society has been broken up into nuclear family. Nuclear family in the sense that, you know, it is a type of, you know, family where it consists of the parents and the unmarried children, okay. So which basically means it's a small family, okay. Now, what are the reasons? What are the factors to why it has been, you know, broken down into nuclear family? Some of the factors are differential earnings of brothers, okay. Differential earnings of brothers means, you know, sometimes what happens is that in a family, you know, the sons earn differently. Some may get high, you know, salary, some may get less income, and in that way they have to contribute. And in this manner, some of the brothers are not ready to share, okay, and that is the reason why, okay, because of this differential earnings of brothers, you know, it also led to the breaking up of, you know, the joint family into nuclear family, okay. Slowly the family gets broken up into, you know, nuclear family. That is what it means here. The next is this inclination of sons and wives to share, okay, in the sense that, okay, this inclination means unwillingness or reluctance, okay. Reluctance of what? Reluctance of the son, okay, and their wives to share responsibilities. So they also want to live an independent life, okay, and they want to run their family on their own. They want to make their own decisions on their own, and that is also another reason why, okay, they also move out from the joint family. The next is, you know, development of secondary and tertiary sector, okay. Secondary means someone who is engaged in the secondary sector, you know, secondary sector in the sense, you know, someone who is engaged in the production sector. That is what it means here, okay. And tertiary sector, you know, it's like someone who is engaged in the PBOs or even offices, etc., right. So those are called as the tertiary sector, okay. So most of them, they have to stay away from home most of the time, and that is the reason why, you know, they want to live, you know, in that particular small area, okay, on their own. And that is the reason why, you know, development of secondary and tertiary sector, you know, also plays a very important role in breaking up into nuclear family, okay. And that is the reason why when we look into our today's families, okay, especially in the urban settings, you know, urban middle classes and also the professional classes, you know, have opted for the nuclear family, and thus nuclear family is becoming more and more important in the society, okay. So that, you know, especially among the professionals, like I've told you, especially among the professionals and the urban middle classes, okay. And this is one of the reasons, like I've mentioned, because they want to be independent, and most of them, they are also independent, okay? And here, both the parents are also employed. And that is the reason why, okay, nuclear family is becoming more important. The next one is the kinship, okay? When we talk about the kinship, it simply means the relation, okay? Relation of what, okay? It means the social relationship based on, blood relationship, okay? Common blood, that is what it means here, okay? Or marriage and adoption, okay? After you get married, you are related to that particular person, okay? And his or her parents will be your in-laws, right? So in that way, you're becoming relative to that particular person, or maybe because of adoption, or even through common blood. It's like the relationship between the father and the son, the relationship between the mother and the son, right? So those relationship is what I'm talking about here, relationship through blood. So that is what it means by kinship. I repeat again, kinship is the social relationship, okay? Means social relationship, okay, based on common blood, marriage, and adoption. Now, there is another definition which has been given by Duncan Mitchell, okay? It starts from page number 36 and goes till the end, okay? But this particular definition is given in page number, this particular definition is given in page number 36 in the 6th paragraph, okay? Now, the definition which he has given is, when we use the term kinship, okay, we are referring to a people, or we are referring to people who are related by consanguinity and affinity. See, those people who are related by consanguinity and also by affinity is what it means by kinship, according to Duncan Mitchell, okay? So, what is consanguinity? Okay, what is this consanguinity? C-O-N-S-A-N-G-U-I-N-I-T-Y, consanguinity. So what does it mean here? It means that the relationship which is based on common blood or blood ties. That is what it means by consanguinity. Okay. The next is affinity. Okay, what is affinity here? Affinity is the relationship based on, okay, marriage, okay, or built by marriage, and that is what it means by affinity here, okay. Now, that is the basic difference between these two. One is like by blood, consanguinity, and affinity is by marriage. Consanguinity, like I've mentioned, your grandfather and you, right? The relationship between you and your grandfather, it has been related through blood. The next is affinity, okay? It's like I've mentioned, you're married to someone else, okay? Now what happens is that you become relatives, even to his parents and their siblings, and also to his grandparents and etc. And this kind of relationship is built by marriage, okay, which is called as affinity. Now, according to Iravati Karve again, okay, here it talks about 4 types, okay, 4 types of kinship can be found in India. That is what it means here, okay. 4 types is found in India, based on geographical location, the linguistic differences, or also based on differences of marriages, okay, or even differences in the succession and also in the inheritance of property. And those are some of the differences which we can see, okay, which we can see, in the different types of, marriages in different zones, okay, according to, Iravati Karve. So those are the factors which differentiates between them. Now, among these northern, central, southern, and eastern zones, okay, I would like to discuss the 2 most important zones, okay, which is been given in your textbooks, okay. The first is the northern zone, and the second is the southern zone, okay. Now, the northern zone, okay, which means the northern India. Here, there are tribals called as Kulla, okay, Kutra, and Jati. K-U-L-A, Kulla, okay, Kotra, G-O-T-R-A, Kotra, and Jati, okay, J-A-T-I, Jati, okay. Now, Kulla and Kutra, okay, follows exogamous, which means we have discussed about this in our previous class, right? Exogamous means one who marry outside the group, right? So these two marry outside the group, but jati marries within the same group. And we can also find, village exogamy, okay? Village exogamy can be found, okay? Which means someone who should marry outside the village, okay? In order to distance the blood relationship, which means person from outside the village, will be quite far, when it comes to blood relationship. And that is the reason why, village exogamy is also practiced among them. Now, the bride comes, as a stranger to the society, but in the northern India, okay? Now, and also there is a huge difference between the daughters and daughter-in-law in the society, okay, in this northern zone. And also, we can also find that, the extent their kinship, okay, or the do marriages outside the village in order to extend their kinship, their relationship ties. In South India, it's quite the opposite of it. We can also see patrilineal as well as a matrilineal. One of the basic example of matrilineal society among the southern zone are the Nayars of Kerala. Okay, here what we can see is that there is a lot of difference between the north zone and the south zone. They know each other. Okay, those people who are supposed to get married they know each other, and there is cross cousin marriage which is allowed. Uncle niece marriage is also allowed in this particular system. Okay, and since they know each other so much, okay, the bride, when she comes to the home of the bridegroom, okay, she is not a stranger to them. So, okay, so those are some of the differences here. Now, when we talk about the role of kinship here, okay, one of the basic role of kinship is to transmit the status in the family, and also, the transmission of property from one generation to the another generation, okay. And when we talk about this, there is a way of tracing their descent also. Descent is like one person belonging to a particular generation is what it means by descent in short, okay. Now, a person belonging to a certain ancestor or a certain generation, okay, forefather, and that is what it means by descent, okay. And when we talk about the descent, okay, we can see there is a unilineal. Unilineal means the descent which has been traced through one line, okay. One line is what it means by unilineal, okay. We have either matrilineal or patrilineal. Matrilineal is the descent which has been, which is a line which is descended from the father's side. Matrilineal is from mother's side. Patrilineal is from the father's side, okay. And along with that, we also see double, due, or bilineal system, okay. What is this double, due, or even bilineal system? Here, it means that, a person can trace, its descent both from the father's side as well as from the mother's side, okay. Whenever the situation arises and whenever the need arises, for certain purpose, they used to do that, okay, double, due, or bilineal system, okay. Now, kinship, the last one is kinship regulates the social behavior. Whenever we need each other, it also abides, okay. The kinship also teaches us, it abides us, to follow some social behavior in order to, show our good conduct towards others, to be ethical in the society, right? To socialize ourselves and to be ourselves at our best, and that is how kinship regulates the social behavior of individuals also. And in that way, kinship plays a very important role also, in helping the people belonging to their same kin, okay, their relatives, okay, by helping them finding some job in cities, towns, etc. Okay, so in that way, okay, kinship plays a very important role. And with that, I conclude the unit 3 for class 12, institutional structure here. Okay, so with that, I would like to conclude our classes for today. Thank you so much.